Hi friends, Evolving Guys here. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for following along with our collection journey. So today is Tally Thursday, and what that means is we're going to tally up the pulls that we had from our Monday video. And in that Monday video, we opened our first booster box of the new set, Surging Sparks. So we are into our Surging Sparks Master Set Challenge, and we are going to work every Monday. We're going to open some Sparks packs, and on Thursday we're going to tally up those packs in more detail and talk about what our pull rates are and what our progress is to the master set. So hopefully this is helpful. We do collect master sets, or I collect master sets, and so by doing it this way in a more systematic way, hopefully this is helpful for you as you're thinking about what makes sense to buy, what makes sense to open, how many packs, and your own path to a master set. Excuse me, getting over a cold here, so you'll have to bear with me. But I'm curious with Surging Sparks for you all. I mean, because pre-release pricing was really high, and because still booster boxes are roughly at MSRP right now, so you're not necessarily getting a discount per pack when you buy in bulk, because the booster box, it's 36 packs at MSRP is $4.49 a pack, and so you're no better off buying that unless you just want that many packs. But as far as buying other products that have Surging Sparks in them, and also just finding stuff can be a challenge, it seems. So anyway, Surging Sparks, it might be an interesting or slightly different master set challenge, just given the prices. But in our case, we are going to start with some booster boxes, and then we'll pivot to some of the other products, and then we'll kind of decide from there where we go. But because this is our first Tally Thursday, I wanted to make sure we review really quickly Surging Sparks as a set. Again, it is the 8th main series set in Scarlet and Violet. It came out on Friday, November 8th. So it's been out less than a week, which is kind of crazy. It kind of feels like we've been talking about Surging Sparks for months now, but it's only actually been out for 6 days. And it is a large set. It's 252 cards. If I recall, the largest set ever is Fusion Strike at about 264, I want to say, cards. And so it's pretty close to that. Some people have compared Surging Sparks in size to Twilight Masquerade. Twilight Masquerade as a full set was 226 cards, and so this is quite a bit bigger. But one way in which it's more like Twilight Masquerade is in the number of secret rare cards, the number of illustration rares, ultra rares, special illustration rares, hyper rares, and A-spec cards in Surging Sparks is pretty similar to Twilight Masquerade. And so in that way, it might be a similar set. Excuse me, it might be a similar set to Master, but it does have some more commons and uncommons than other sets. And so, and those for us, we want those. They're not going to be necessarily hard to find or to pull eventually. And there also are 165 reverse hollows, which is quite a large group of reverse hollows. And so we do collect reverses as part of our master set. So we track that progress as well. So it's going to be probably just on the whole a little bit harder to master Surging Sparks given the size of the set. So we did open a full booster box on Monday. Excuse me again. We had 14 hits, which is what we would expect if you've watched our past videos. The last number of main series sets, starting with with Temporal Forces. That's in our channel. We started our master set challenges with Temporal Forces. We've done Temporal Forces, Twilight Masquerade, Stellar Crown, and now we're doing Surging Sparks. We also did with the other special sets, but those don't have booster boxes, so it's a little harder to compare apples to apples. But anyway, our experience tells us that we should expect between 13 and 16 hits per booster box, and we are very much in that range here with the 14 hits we got in the Surging Sparks booster box. Now, as far as what we actually pulled by rarity, you can see here we pulled 6 double rares, 2 A-spec cards, 3 illustration rares, 2 ultra rares, and we were lucky to pull 1 special illustration rare. And this, again, really tracks super closely with our previous experience. I mean, 6 double rares for a booster box is almost like clockwork. That's very much what we would expect. Again, also with 2 A-specs, we would really expect 2 A-specs for a booster box. For illustration rares and ultra rares, we really expect those about 2 to 4 in a booster box, and with an average of 3. And in this case, we had right on 3 ultra rares, or 3 illustration rares. We were a little light on ultra rares with the 2, but that was made up for in a large way by pulling the 1 special illustration rare that we did. Special illustration rares, again, we expect those roughly every 2 booster boxes, but you can't count on that. in Stellar Crown, if you followed our master set building with Stellar Crown, we opened, I want to say 135 or even 145 packs of Stellar Crown. We did not pull a single special illustration rare or a single hyper rare in all of those packs. And so it's not guaranteed. Special illustration rares and hyper rares are not harder to pull, I think, than alternative arts in Sword and Shield, but they are definitely not guaranteed in a booster box, either one, in fact. So that's kind of where we stand, but we did pull one, so we're lucky there. So the three most valuable cards, just to go from the top down, you can see that we pulled the Milotic EX, which I think last I checked is around. It goes back and forth with with Lycia's Appeal, I think, as the fourth or the fifth most valuable card in this set. So we're lucky. I mean, that's great. It's a great pull. It's in the $80 range. Of course, as you know, the Pikachu is really the chase. I mean, last I checked, I mean, it's a little bit nuts. It's over $600 on TCG Player. So that is obviously like, I mean, our chances of pulling it are the same as pulling a Milotic EX. And so, who knows what we'll end up pulling, but we already pulled our first SIR, so I don't expect um, another one for a little bit unless we're lucky. But beyond that, even though we did pull, had some other decent pulls as far as value goes, the next most valuable card was all the way down to the Pikachu EX double rare, which is around $8 to $9. And then after that, you're down to the Dugtrio, which is around $5. So it really drops off quickly, even though there are some definite chase cards in this set. Obviously, the Pikachu, obviously, the Latias. But, it's kind of like some of the other recent sets where after you get away from those handful of top cards, everything else really can drop kind of quickly. And you're talking about at most maybe some of the SIRs are in the $30 or $20 range. I think this one, has a little bit more of the middle tier of cards, but still, you can see here with our booster box, we really were, in a sense, you're always kind of saved by pulling that special illustration rare because so many of the cards, even the hits, are not necessarily all that valuable. So these are our top three cards, but I'll just go back quickly. You can see we had those 6 double rares. We had the 2 A-Spec cards. None of the A-Spec cards in this set are particularly coveted, it seems. Both of those are basically bulk EXs. We pulled the Stunfisk, the Alolan Dugtrio, and the Applin. And then we had just the ultra rares of all the rarities. I think are probably the least valuable. It's hard to find good rarities, and there are some valuable illustration rares in this set, so we'll hope to pull those. But for now, these are our top 3 cards from this particular booster box. So where are we now? In this case, we're looking at where are we after 44 packs. You probably know a booster box is 36 packs, but we also opened 2 build and battle kits in the pre-release phase of Surging Sparks, and so I'm including the pulls in those 8 packs. And so we're actually talking about what are our totals after 44 packs. First, this is our progress toward the master set by rarity. So you can see here that we, so far, after 44 packs, we've pulled 75% of the commons. So still, like, commons are obviously pretty common to pull, but because it's such a large set, even after 44 packs, we're still only 3/4 of the way there. We still have quite a few commons that we need to pull. Uncommons were very close. There's only one uncommon that we're missing, and it's one of the trainer cards. So we've done pretty well with the uncommons. Regular rares also we've done really well. We're only missing 2 of those. Double rares, as you saw, we have pulled 6 of 18. And actually, I should amend this. I know that we did pull one double rare in the previous build and battle kits. So this should actually say 7 of 18. So we're a little bit higher than this for double rares, but we still have some ways to go there. The illustration rares, again, we've pulled the 3 that we pulled in this booster box plus 1 that we pulled in the build and battle kits. And so we're up to 4 of the 23 illustration rares. We're up to 3. We pulled 2 illustration rares in the booster box and 1 in the build and battle kits. So we're up to 3 of the 21 ultra rares. And as you saw, we did pull the Milotic EX special illustration rare. So we have pulled one. And it's one of the more valuable ones. It's not definitely the most valuable, but I'll take it. It's a really good pull for our first booster box. We have not pulled a hyper rare. We have pulled 2 of the A-Specs. There are 8 in the set. And then reverse hollows, after 44 packs, we're not quite halfway there. So we do have quite a bit of progress to make in the reverse department. So we'll continue to track that and to build those up. Excuse me again, as far as pull rates go, after 44 packs, we've pulled 7 double rares, which again works out to about 1 in 6 packs, which is very much what we would expect. A-Specs, similarly, we'd expect those around 1 in every 20 packs, and so far we've pulled 2 in 44 packs, so that works out to 1 in every 22 packs. Illustration rares, we've pulled 4 in 44 packs, which is 1 in 11. Ultra rares, 3 in 44, which is 1 in 15. I would expect that number, that ratio to get a little bit better. I expect a few more ultra rares over the long run. I think illustration rares and ultra rares, in our experience, are roughly 1 in every 12 packs or so. And then the SAR, again, so far it's 1 in every 44 packs because that's all we've opened and we've pulled 1. But I, again, expect that ratio should really be more, in the long run, it's probably going to be more like 1 in 70 or 1 in 80. And again, who knows? We pulled 0 SIRs in all of our Stellar Crown opening, and we opened well over 100 packs. So you're not guaranteed, but so I'm excited that we pulled 1, but we'll see if there are more awaiting us. And then Hyper Rare, none yet. Hyper Rare would be nice. I mean, the Pikachu would be really nice because that is a pretty valuable card. But beyond that, often the Hyper Rares, even if they're the hardest to pull, which has been our experience, they're not necessarily the most valuable. So anyway, that's where we are. I definitely, these pull rates will probably adjust some as we open more packs. But again, so far, this is tracking pretty closely with our previous experience. And so the last slide, just where does this leave us? So far, after 44 packs, we are 65% of the way complete on a master set, which again, you would expect. We're making a lot of progress early on with the commons and uncommons. You can see we've got 164 of the 252 cards. And we're definitely going to chip away at that as we open more packs, especially with just, at least at the very least, we're going to fill the remaining commons and uncommons. And double rares and regular rares. And then from there, it's just going to be crossing our fingers and hoping that as we open more Surging Sparks, we're going to hit another special illustration rare or two, maybe a hyper rare or two. That would certainly go a long way to helping us out. And of course, I mean, either the Pikachu or the Latias or any of the really high-end cards, but of course, everyone's after the Pikachu. It's a little head-scratching because it's not an amazing card in my opinion. And I know Pikachu is popular, but it just doesn't seem to justify the price. And so we'll see if over time that card comes down. But obviously, in the short term, we're going to really hope to pull it rather than we're certainly not going to buy it, at least for quite a long time. So that's where we stand on the main series set. You can see here, I use the collector app to track my collection, and you can see here that the total value of our 164 cards, and I do log in the reverse hollows, which does help build the value that actually we've pulled so far. We've pulled a total of $140 worth of value in our master set. So that's really strong. I mean, obviously the Milotic helps a lot. That's half of that value. But there's also value in just the building up those commons and uncommons, and especially the reverse hollow variants of those. That's going to add some value. Those prices, of course, will come down. But again, $140 actually feels pretty good. And then you can see here overall, it's actually a pretty large set when you start with the 252 cards in the main series set, which includes the secret rares, and you add the 165 reverse hollows. There's actually 417 cards that we're after to build our complete master set. And we're at 235 of those 417 cards, which is 56%. So we're getting there. We're making progress. We're at the beginning of this journey. And so we're going to open another booster box. So check back on Monday to watch us open that booster box. And then check back next Thursday when we total up where we are on our master set challenge. And we'll keep doing, I think for most of the month of November, we're going to work on Surging Sparks. And then we've got some exciting stuff planned for December. I want to go back to some Sword and Shield sets and see about maybe building some master sets there. So anyway, thanks for watching the channel. We really appreciate your support. Check out some of the other videos, and we will be back in your feed soon. Have a great day.